Chore chats. Hi YouTube and welcome to Chore chats. This is something I just came up with today while I was doing stuff, and I think I'm going to make videos like this more often. So basically what this is going to be is I'm going to be making a video and doing my chores at the same time, so I can knock two birds out with one stone. Sorry if you don't like that analogy. I don't mind it. So yeah, I don't have a planned topic to discuss. I thought I might go through what a typical week is like for me as far as writing and stuff. But I'll be doing it while I put stuff away. Hopefully moving dishes around isn't too loud. Just gotta unload and reload the dishwasher. We all have chores, we all have dishes. You guys understand I don't need to be perfect in front of everyone. So, typical week for writing. On Monday, I will usually go over what I'm going to share in Writer's Workshop on Tuesday and Wednesday, which kind of gives away what I do on Tuesday and Wednesday. Is I go to a Writer's Workshop. Just leave that open for a second. And at this workshop, it's actually at a university I live right across the street from. I graduated from there, and my husband's still in the, still attending and stuff. And anyways, so yeah, Monday I'll go over, I might write a little bit. The thing is, writing for me isn't a career. I don't plan on it ever being my primary income source. Like, if that's your thing, that's cool. But that's not what I look at writing to be as my goal. For me, it's just fun. It kind of is a release. I always pretend played as a kid, whether it was with my toys or with other kids, dressing up, all of that. I was always pretend playing. And so for me, I know I'm off camera, sorry, writing is a way to continue that into adulthood in a mature manner. And so it's a hobby. That being said, I do want to be published, and I would love to be traditionally published, mainly because I'm not a businesswoman. If I was a businesswoman, if I was good at that stuff, if I could think that way, that'd be fine. I'd totally be up for that. But I'm not, and I'm not going to try and kid myself into thinking that I am. And so yeah, that's basically why, turn the camera, why I would prefer to be traditionally published. So now that you understand that part, my husband, sorry, I don't think these got rinsed properly. Anyways, that being said, I do try to work on writing every week, or some part of the writing process. It might not always be the getting the words on the page part, but that's one thing that going to Writer's Workshop at the university helps me with a lot, is keeping my mind focused on that and keeping that at the forefront of my mind instead of letting it stray to the back and then be forgotten. And yeah, so Tuesday and Wednesday I go to Writer's Workshop, and that looks basically the same on both days. The way the Writer's Workshop works where I live is, the one that I go to, is we don't actually use the time for writing. We expect everyone to have written. I mean, you can use the time for writing, but it's preferred that you listen to other people's work and to give feedback. And so, I know I'm not keeping my mind in a straight line here. And so what will happen is I finished writing my first book a long time ago. I've just been continuously editing it, and I feel like it's never done. You guys know that feeling. I talked about that in a previous video where I was also doing kind of a household chore, but it was more of a choice of a chore where I was seam ripping the skirt. And I'll show you what that's for. You can kind of see, can't point on a camera. Right there is a costume I'm working on for fun. But yeah, so you show up and you have your work already written, and I've been going for about almost a year now, and everyone gets usually about 8 or 9 minutes. Occasionally there'll be very, very few people there, and on those days we might get 12 minutes to share. And you can read your own stuff, but usually we have someone else read it so that we can see how readers might interpret our own stories and stuff, because that's hard to do, and it's really nice to hear it through someone else's head, and you catch more mistakes that way. So I'll usually have someone else read it. Occasionally I'll just be really excited about a chapter and I'll want to share it myself. And yeah, so we read that, and then afterwards we get, I think it's 3 minutes of critique, and that's just when we get feedback from everyone in the room. And to me this has kind of turned almost into a beta process, because I am by no means on my first draft. I finished writing the first book almost 2.5 years ago now, and I've just been working on fixing it up. And so going to Writer's Workshop helps me with that. And then after I finish that, what I'll do is, while I'm listening to other people's stories, I'll usually start adding in the edits and everything in my own book, and fix things. And it's really nice because I can just do it right away, right after I get the critique. That needs to be right. And yeah, it helps a lot. If you're wondering why I have so many dishes, it's because I have been processing fruit so that I could freeze it all for smoothies and pies and crisps later and stuff. I'm thinking apple crisp. It just occurred to me while I said that people in the UK think crisps, or consider crisps the name for like potato chips. Yeah. So that's my Tuesday and Wednesday. I go to that. And then on Thursdays, I actually go and do different hobby lately. And I've only gone and done this a couple times, where I've gone to another thing at the university called Film Society, and it's just starting up and stuff. But they wanted writers, and I said, okay, I can write. So I've written one script for them. Working on another. They're mainly just like funny 2 to 5 minute sketches at this point. I haven't written anything big for them. And yeah, so that's just fun, and that's a good way for me to practice writing outside of the genre that I'm used to, because I'm not necessarily picking the subject matter or the concepts for the videos that we're making in Film Society. I'm just purely coming in to try and put other people's ideas down on paper, which is kind of fun to do. Again, if all the dishwashing and moving stuff around is loud, I apologize. This is my first time trying a chore chat thing. I'm hoping I do it more. I'm hoping it works out and that you guys don't mind too much, because it would be really nice to get things done. Does that fit under the spinning part? Yes, it does. Okay. It would be nice to get things done and still get videos out and stuff. Mainly because I just enjoy that. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you guys these chopsticks. They're little baby chopsticks. You just do that instead of... I can't even hold them the normal way with this. But, yeah. Isn't that cute? I just got those. I think I gotta take the little girl off. I also have little boy ones. I haven't used them yet. Or it could be girl. I don't know. Maybe she has her hair in a ponytail. You can't see her hair. Anyways. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm just going to group those all into one. I will continue to work on edits and stuff for my book, work on more of the feedback that I've gotten from my peers. And the thing is, I mean, I've got the one book that I'm editing, but it's part of a trilogy, and I'm writing books 2 and 3 at the same time right now, along with editing that. So I've always got writing work to do, whether it's for Film Society, editing book 1, working on book 2 or book 3. Another thing that I like to do, in addition to Writer's Workshop, is lately my childhood best friend and I have been reading my book together over video chat. And that's really nice because he actually, and I think I mentioned this before, he'll actually just be like, oh, you're missing a comma there, or oh, you forgot to close that quotation and stuff. And he'll catch the really little things, and he gives me time to stop and just fix it right then, because we're both looking at the same document. And yeah, I think that's super duper duper helpful as far as making things the best it can be. Granted, I still probably need to get a professional edit. And here's where I'm unsure, is because I know if you're self-publishing, you need a professional edit. If I want to go through publishing with a company, a publishing company, wow, I cannot think of words right now. Won't they do editing for me? I mean, clearly I've done plot edits and I've tried to make it the best. I'm not saying submit a first draft. Like, heavens no, don't do that. That would be awful. I don't even like to think about my first draft, even though I have it printed. It's right there. I can see it under the coffee table. I was rearranging things in the apartment today. And yeah, look at this apple peeler core slicer. It's so sticky and dirty. How do you even wash that? There's so many moving parts and blades. Put that in the bowl. Oh, something fell off of it. Oh, that goes there too. Okay. I'll upside down and let it soak for a minute. Not too long. I don't want it to rest. What else can fit in that awkward space? Sled. And yeah, so I mean, I would love to get it professionally edited. And here's the other thing, is I was recently in Utah, and if you're on the AuthorTube page, or if you're in my Keep Writing group here in town, which is the Writer's Workshop I'm talking about, you've probably already seen this on Facebook. But I was in Utah, and I was talking to my grandma, and of course my grandma's like my #1 fan and just loves everything about the book. She's wonderful and just so cheery, and I want to be just like her, because she's just ultimately amazing and nice. I should be nicer. But she was talking with me about my book, and she told me that she had come up with this idea in her head of what a cover would look like. So I had her share it with me because I was curious and wanted to know what she thought. And I've read portions of the book to her. I tried to share it with her on Google Drive, but she didn't understand really how that works. Which is fine. You don't have to be a tech whiz to be amazing. And what she came up with was she was telling me a silhouette of the main character. That's in book 1, that's Apricot. And then she's like, and I showed her my inspiration covers that I have saved to Pinterest, which most of them are books I've never heard of. I just really like the covers when I looked up book covers on Pinterest. And a lot of them had filigree, and I couldn't think of what that was called. And she knew the word right away, of course. Like I said, Grandma's amazing. And sorry, I'm grabbing the dish soap, dishwasher detergent pod. And should I pretend to use it? Oh, don't do this. Don't. I was doing like that. Don't do that. So she showed me, or she explained her idea to me, and I explained that I would love it to have filigree, and then we combined our ideas and just nerded out talking about that and stuff. And I kept thinking about it, and I was like, well, gee, I can make that. Why don't I just make up a mock-up of it for fun? Because I can do that. And so that's what I did this morning. It wasn't on my to-do list, but the things that were on my to-do list, my husband actually did some of that without needing to be prompted or asked, because he's amazing too. And yeah, so I put that together, and I'll insert a picture here in the video. And that's what I came up with. And then, because each book in my trilogy is going to follow a different protagonist, I thought to myself, well, book 2 would be green instead of purple, and it would have Gregor on the front, and that's Gregor's adventure. And then book 3 would have Georgia on the front, but and I don't know if you can really do this in a silhouette, make them face forward or backward, because it's a silhouette either way. But Georgia would be backwards to the audience, and it would say Georgia's Descent, and then like that one would be red. And then of course Apricot has her sword, and then Gregor has his dagger, and Georgia would have her sword. And yeah. Anyways, so chore chats. What do you guys think? I got a lot done. It may look like I still have a lot of dishes to do, but my dishwasher's full, and I'm going to run it, and I feel productive, and I made a video. And I only have to add in one picture because I'm not going to edit the rest. Thanks for watching. Bye! I'm just going to add this one clip. I know if I do get traditionally published that they'll make my book cover and stuff for me, but it was kind of fun to just make one up. And if I can't eventually find a publisher to work with me, then maybe with some help from some very business-minded siblings of mine, I might be able to self-publish, but again, I would prefer traditional. If I did, though, these would be the book covers. The general consensus that I got on AuthorTubers was to make my name bigger, so I would definitely do that.